Make them talk. Oh, Terry love them. Tefi waru so up. Make them talk. Kuli kuli bonkan. Ordinary kan. Make them talk. We want to know what's up. Need to know. That's where we are protesting. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been a minute. I haven't uploaded a video on this channel, on my channel, for about 2 months now, and for a couple of reasons. A lot of things came up, and they were very important and good things, and it was very, it was expedient for me to just take a break from YouTube and just focus on them. And very recently I've been under the weather, so many things have been happening that I just like to just take it easy and take a break and not put pressure on myself to always put out content. So whenever I was ready, I would definitely come back. However guys, so many things have been happening. So much has been happening, and I can't even keep quiet any longer. Trust me, it's getting really late. It's almost 7 p.m. where I am, but because the reason why it's taking this long is because I've been, like I said, I'm under the weather. I've been trying to push myself. I've wanted to make this video for like some days now, and even today I've not been strong enough, but I say, what, I must push myself, I must try. Because of that, I can't go out into the streets and join my comrades, my fellow citizens, to protest. However, you're obviously posting on my social media. If you're following me, you would definitely know I've been joining the conversation about it. And since that I have this platform, I definitely want to use it. If you've been following me for a while, if you're a subscriber on this channel, or you've been following my videos, I usually don't make videos on political issues. I make videos on faith, books, lifestyle, poetry. But if you also notice that whenever there are serious societal political issues that needs to that needs to come to the light, I would definitely I've made a couple of videos in this regard, and this is definitely even more. It is as pressing, as important as those videos, and we have to talk about it. Where will I start from? So just in case you are not aware of what has been going on in Nigeria, which is even which the whole world is very much aware about at this point, for about a couple of years now, a lot of Nigerian youths especially have been falling victims to brutality by the Nigerian police force, specifically the SARS units, and they are called the Special Armed Robbery Service or unit or whatever. I would put I don't even know, but they're called, but the acronym is SARS. And this morning I saw it that they've changed the name to SWAT. We'll come to that. So this particular unit has been very responsible for harassing young people in the name of their internet fraudsters, their Yahoo boys, or their whatever, and they just stop on the road and they kill people, they extort from people, they take people's phones and drive them to the ATM and whatever, and just dehumanize people just because really, because there is no basis for a lot of these actions. This is not even allowed at all. So that is the background. That is like what has led to this outcry. And so about 2 years ago, people cried out and said, you need to end SARS. These people are not doing their job. They're not oppressing Nigerians, especially the youths. And so the government said, we are ending SARS, we are disbanding SARS. But they didn't go nowhere. They continued. 2019, the same thing happened. We are ending SARS. This year, people have had it up to here. In fact, like my style in our video, they've had it up to here. Like, they are tired and people are demanding for a change. And you know what? Scrap it indeed. Not in words, not on Twitter, not on your Twitter page. Scrap the team, reform the police, let those that have been unjustly killed, brutalized, dehumanized by these officials, let them get justice. Investigate those that are responsible for these acts. And it seems to be happening everywhere in the country. Young boys that seem to be doing pretty well, that look a certain way, maybe you have dreadlocks on, or maybe you're driving a nice car, they begin to harass you, check your phone, and start trying to implicate you. And if you don't cooperate, which means maybe give them money or allow them to extort you, you might be killed on the spot. Even the females are not left out. A lot of females have been raped, dehumanized. A lot of females have been abused by these officers. Some females have even also been killed. So this seems to be affecting the youth. But guess what? It's a Nigerian problem, because these youths have parents, okay, and no Nigerian should sit idle knowing that his neighbor is going through this problem. So it's not a matter of young or old, or it's not even restricted to any kind of sect. We Nigerians, we are the ones suffering these things. You understand? So we have to come together and keep fighting. I want to applaud all the Nigerians going out there protesting for the past couple of days. I think it's been close to a week already that they've been going out there. Started in Lagos, and now other states are also doing it. It's happening in Ibadan, it's happening in Port Harcourt, it's happening in other states of Nigeria. People are standing up, and there's a movement going on, which I really, really appreciate. So I have a question. The Nigerian government is supposed to be a democracy, Abi? We are operating a democratic system. But my question is, this government of ours, is it a leadership or a rulership? Which also means a dictatorship. We know what leadership is, and we know what a rulership is. A leader is someone that carries people along. A leader is someone that represents his people, his or her people. He serves his people, protects their interests. He makes decisions that favor his own people. That is what a leader does. Now, a ruler is, you can call him a dictator, because he just oppresses, imposes his will on the people. So when we look at how things are playing out in the government of our country for, how many decades now that we've been on this democratic government, are we kidding ourselves to call ourselves a democratic government when we are operating a rulership, not leadership? Let's think about that one. Sip on it, meditate on it for a while. The responsibility of the government is to represent the interest of people. So we have an agency principal relationship between the government and the citizens. So the government, they are in power on our behalf. We give them that power. They are there to serve us. They are there to represent our interests. I use the word agency and principal because I think it's very apt in this situation, because that's exactly what's going on. If I have an agent working on my behalf, it doesn't take a step without my directive. It doesn't take a step out of what I want. If he's meant to handle my property, for example, he cannot make a sale. He cannot do anything regarding that property without my consent, or in a way that will not benefit my interests. Do you get it? So what are we doing? It's kidding ourselves that, we have a democracy. With the way our government is responding to our cry, with the way our government is silent and trying to what's the word? With the way our government is trying to stifle our voices and dehumanize those that are going out there to protest, asking for accountability, asking for a change, asking for the government to step in and end these useless killings. It's bad enough that even the SARS now are going out there and killing anybody that they find connected to this protest. So I heard that they're going through phones, and if they see NSAS on your phones, they will shoot you on the spot. A lot of people are getting killed at this protest. The irony of it all, the embarrassment of it all, the wickedness of it all. We are out here crying to the government to end brutality of the police, and they are sending the police to brutalize people. A lot of people have been killed in these protests. So I'm saying, can we see that we have serious problems in this country? It's bad enough that in Nigeria we are struggling with so many issues that a country like ours should not be struggling with. We're struggling with unstable electricity. We're struggling with unemployment. We're struggling with unemployment. We are struggling with so many issues, so many vices, inflation, fuel hike, so many things are going on. It's hard to maintain a decent lifestyle if you're Nigerian, no matter how much you're earning, because so many things are going to be. You are your own local government. You are paying. Let's take lights, for example. You see, for the NEPA, that is our electricity. The government, the one that the government is supposed to provide. You pay for it every month. You pay for a diesel. You pay for inverter. You pay for solar. In your own road, your association, you will pay to fix your own roads. But we have a government and we are paying taxes. So when we call ourselves a democratic government with a constitution that defines the rights and obligations of the citizens of Nigeria, that defines everything. I am a lawyer, and one of the very first things I learned when I was studying law is that the constitution of any country is the ground norm. What does ground law mean? It means that is the base of any other law, base of everything. This is where other laws even derive their validity from. It is where even the way the government is structured is derived from. It is the control that determines how the government will be, the kind of, agencies that will have, legislature, executive, judiciary, everything. It stipulates the rights and the powers of the people, the powers of each arm of government, everything is there. And so we need to go back to the Constitution and understand that what is going on here. The Constitution in section 33 guarantees the right to life. That's the first right that's the first thing when you look at the rights of every citizen of Nigeria. The first thing it states was that every citizen is guaranteed the right to life. You know what, let me read it. So, section 33, section 1 states, every person has a right to life, and no one shall be deprived intentionally of his life, save in execution of the sentence of a court in respect of a criminal offense of which he has been found guilty in Nigeria. Do we notice that? Save in execution of the sentence of a court in respect of a criminal offense of which he has been found guilty in Nigeria. So even if you are under the guise that, oh, these guys are criminals, they look at you and they just judge you by your looks. Oh, you're having a nice life, you're a young guy. Why? Okay, come out. You're a Yahoo boy. They'll start extorting you. Number one, if surely you suspect him of being a Yahoo boy, and you want to arrest him, number one, do you have a warrant to search his phone, to search his property? You're on the road and you're harassing people, claiming they're Yahoo boys. Okay, fine. If for some reason you deprived of them, you were able to, check their phones and check their laptop, and you see that, oh, of a truth, this is a Yahoo boy, this is a fraudster. Are you meant to shoot them on the spot? Are you meant to extort from them? You are supposed to be a law enforcement officer, not a lawbreaker. Not a lawbreaker that is what's the word I want to even use? That is oppressing the citizens. You might have some evidence. You might find some evidence that, oh, these guys are fraudsters. What do? You take them to the station and conduct your proper investigation and take them to court. Let the court determine if they are guilty or not. And last I checked, fraud in Nigeria doesn't amount to death penalty. Let the court be the one to, give the judgments. You are not in any position to grant any form of judgment, and not to kill, not to even touch them, not to dehumanize them in any way, in any form. So look at it. You have no right to even touch them, to even hit them. They're abusing people, maiming people, extorting people. You have no right to do that. And we are out there crying to the government to make sure that at least our rights is enforced, to bring the perpetrators of this evil to book and reform the police. Give us a response. No, even the media houses that have been quiet. It's just saying that someone now coming up to talk about it. Even some media houses that have been bold enough to come out and cover these matters, they've been persecuted. I heard about Arise News Network, how some of their cameras were seized by the police. We are in the democratic government. The right to come out to protest is granted by the Constitution. Okay, there is a right to lawful assembly, as long as it's peaceful, and so far it's been so peaceful. But in that peaceful protest, they are going there trying to aggravate the youths, spraying them with water, hitting them, beating them, killing them, shooting at them. So they want to make it look as, oh, the youths are here causing trouble, but you're the ones causing trouble. And what we're asking for is not much at all. We're asking for you to do the basic things. Like I said, we are suffering enough in Nigeria. Everybody's relocating, everybody goes to Canada. Even in this this year that we had so many, with the pandemic in this year, people still has relocated. A huge percentage of people are relocating, and they are still relocating. What I'll just say is, even if you want to relocate over there, we know what blacks are going through, so we have no choice. We have to come back and fix our country. And I like what is going on. It's a movement. This is even beyond this end police brutality. It's like people are now understanding their rights and waking up waking up the responsibility to hold the government accountable. And now the government knows that they can't keep doing what they are doing every day. Like they say, every day is for the thief, one day it's for the owner. Section 34 also said, every individual is entitled to respect for the dignity of his person, and accordingly, no person shall be subject to torture or inhuman or degrading treatment. So, what I'm talking about here, and the government is so insensitive to address these issues. Rather than trying to address these issues and look into the problems and fix it, they are here trying to persecute those that are coming out to hold the government accountable. Is it too much to ask for? Allow us to live. You have not been doing your job over the years. Whatever government has been coming on, it's not about any party. But please, let us live. Let us even live to keep fighting. To keep living. To let us survive. But you are depriving people of their lives. The Constitution guarantees right to lawful assembly. So if we have a system that truly works, rather than the police try and fight the protesters, attacking and torturing them, they are meant to protect them, ensure that they are safe while they are protesting. If we truly have a system that works, But look at what we have today. So I would encourage every citizen to understand the rights and powers they have as a citizen of Nigeria by studying the constitution. You don't have to study in-depthly. I mean, you don't have to study it in an in-depth manner. Just to read it, at least, especially the part that has to do with your rights as a citizen. Read, understand what your rights are. Okay, you don't have to. It's not expensive. On your phones, just Google it. The 1999 Constitution as amended, and understand what your rights are, so you can know that you can know the power that you have. They're not there to lord things over you and oppress you. They're there to serve your interests. I believe very strongly that a change will definitely come. I like what is going on. You know, enough is enough. We've had it, like I said, this is like the tipping point, and I believe strongly that this mission, this movement will not be in vain. It's getting really dark. I'm sorry, guys, but like I said, this has just been a struggle, and I'm happy that I finally got to do this. No matter how how tired I've been. So we need to move, guys. I want to applaud all the protesters going out there. My sister was out there yesterday at Alausa, and I was so proud of her. I wish I could join her. Let's keep up the fight. Let's stay safe. Let's stay focused. Okay, this is not a competition. I can see people coming out and say, "Oh, this state, Port Harcourt's protest is more this than Lagos." No. This is not. We're not competing here. We all have the same goal. Let's keep our eyes on the prize. We are here we have a common goal here. It's not a competition, like I said. This is not a competition between the old and the young, or one state and another state. We are all going to be beneficiaries if this movement works. This movement will work by the grace of God. Okay, so let's stay safe. Let's stay focused on this goal, and may God help us. This is even beyond the police brutality now. People now understand the powers that they have, and they are willing, and they are more bold and courageous to exercise their powers. And I like how other people are joining us, apart from the youths. The older ones are coming up, and they are standing up and holding the government accountable. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been a rant. I can't say everything, I can't say it all, but I'm glad I'm able to at least lend my voice. If I'm not even able to go out in the streets, let me use this platform I have. And apart from even protesting and speaking up and joining the conversation, a lot of people are also holding prayer walks, praying on the streets, as well as protesting and demanding for justice. Let's keep praying for Nigeria. I know that God would heal our land and restore Nigeria to greater glory. In Jesus' name, amen. Thanks for watching. So, quick updates, guys. So, from the time that I made this video you just watched till now, so much time has passed, and I've finally been able to get around editing this video. Thank God I'm back on my feet, but then again, so many things have happened, and it's been like over a couple of weeks, before now, and so much has happened, so I just felt it was necessary to give like an update, even though I know a lot of you would definitely know what I'm about to talk about, but just I feel like it will do this video more justice if I just give this update, on what has happened between the time I filmed the video you just watched and now. So it's been a couple of weeks, like I said, and so much has happened. So that the day I filmed that video, I was under the weather. Just that the very next day, it was announced that there's going to be a curfew. So, and it was announced around like 11-12, and the curfew was supposed to start by 4 p.m. in Lagos. Guys, like, just think about it. How in Lagos, Nigeria, 4 p.m. curfew? And then the protest was ongoing, so obviously that was just a ploy to get people to shut up and go home, because apparently there's been some hoodlums coming to disrupt things, and it's obvious that it wasn't the protesters doing that. We know those that are behind those hoodlums perpetrating those evil to just distract people from the situation, and to give the government a reason to say, oh, protesters are looting, protesters are doing this, they are doing that, they are vandalizing properties and all of that. So that very day, the Lekki massacre happened. So a lot of protesters on that day that the curfew was declared were adamant, and they said, you know what, this is just a protest to shut us up. No, we will not shut up, we'll keep protesting. This is a peaceful protest, so they were at the Lekki toll gates and we're there peaceful, no issue. We're just there singing national anthem and waving Nigerian flag. Well, all of a sudden, around about I think 4-5 p.m, there were armored vehicles from the military. There were a lot of military men coming, people from the army came and started shooting at protesters, guys. Started shooting at protesters. It was like, watching a horror movie, watching a war film from another country or another era. Like, it was like, this is 2020, this is democracy, and this is happening. You know, even if they defile the curfews, you could even, you know, there are other ways to disperse the crowd. You could even spray them with water, whatever, but shooting at a harmless, innocent crowd that are demanding for justice, that are protesting against brutality, and you are then brutalizing them. I'm trying not to make this video too long, because already it is getting too long as it is, but there's so much to say, guys. After that, the government have decided to play the denial card by acting like this never happened. So at first they said, oh no, at the massacre, it wasn't a massacre, it just shot into the air, nobody died. People there had live videos to prove. Thank God for the era of technology, thank God for social media. So DJ Switch had a live video on, other people also had live videos on. We could see what was going on while it was happening. And the funny thing was that close to when it was almost 4 p.m, the governor of Lagos State declared that, oh, the curfew has been moved to, I think, 9 p.m. I'm not so sure, but he moved the curfew by a couple of hours more. So what exactly was that about? So Lagos State government denied doing anything about the curfew. And before that massacre happened, hours before, I mean, protesters were already there before 4 p.m. anyways. So they saw everything. They kept taking pictures of everything that was happening. A lot of people came to remove the CCTV cameras that were at the toll gates. I feel like everything I'm saying, a lot of especially Nigerians would know about this, and even a lot of people in diaspora would also know about it. But just in case you do know, and this was my own, you know, I just want to still express my discouragement, my disgust. They removed CCTV cameras. Why? Do you know what they were going to do? You know? So that happened, and the government didn't have the decency to take accountability for what they did or take responsibility. Till today, they are still denying it. It started with, oh, it never happened. Then they said, no, those were not military men. They were not. The army denied it. The government denied it. So who did it? And I heard that at some point, even the police came and joined them in shooting at protesters. So who is lying here? But thank God we have the evidence. Not long after, those that have been at the forefront of this NSAS protest have been prosecuted by the government. Eromosela had just been released from bail after so many weeks, and even at that, is still on trial. For what exactly? What were the charges? What did he do? Was simply exercising his fundamental human rights. The just which was the person that was doing the live video at the massacre now is on the run because her life is in danger. Thank God for CNN doing their very best to bring this to the light. You know, they did a piece on this, and now even the government saying that, oh, they want to sanction CNN. I'm like, you want to sanction CNN? Like, seriously? Guys, I'm trying not to say too much, but there's so much I need to say, or there's so much I want to say, but I'm going to try to all I'm just going to say is, okay, let me also talk about what the president did. So, you know, we've been trying to hear from the president, like, the president has not said anything, he has not addressed the issue, we haven't seen anything. And then the president came, I think, 2-3 days after the Lekki massacre, and he never mentioned anything about the massacre at all. Never said anything about it. He never even gave a proper response to the issue at hand. He just gave a subtle threat, and there should be no more protests. A subtle threat. And he said, we have heard you, we have heard your voices loud and clear. So he never gave any action plan, never gave any, this is what we are doing. He kept talking about that this administration has done this for the people, it has done kini money, padi money, it has done empower program. Like, how does that relate to the issue on ground? So it's just obvious that it is just clear that we have a government that doesn't care. A government that doesn't care. They know the problems, and they're obviously responsible for a lot of these problems, but they don't care. It's like they're just high up there and just feel like, you know what, if you talk much, we'll squash you. And that's what they have been doing. It's very sad. My heart goes out to the victims of the Lekki massacre. I'm so pained. I'm so sad, and I'm so discouraged. And even the presidential speech, even if a lot of us didn't expect anything much from that speech, but at the same time, it was just like, we expected 0, but now all we got was even like -000. Like, it was just very sad. And I just pray that God will strengthen the families of those that have lost their lives fighting for this. And I pray that those that have been persecuted for this, you know, God gives them victory over this. And I pray that we would have the last laugh. We'll have the last laugh. We, the people, would have the last laugh this system that is in place to just frustrate and just rule for their own selfish interests. God in heaven, who gives power to people, who is in charge, who is the true king of all, will step in one way or another, will raise people that will give us a better and new Nigeria. A lot of people now are like, you know what, I'm done with Nigeria. I want to migrate. Including me talking. I'm not really done with Nigeria, but I just feel like now I'm open to that possibility. Before I was never open to that possibility, but obviously I don't have any plans, but I'm just more open to that possibility now. Like, you know what, with the look of things, it's possible that just might be migrating, maybe now or sometime in the future. We never can tell, because it's so discouraging. It's so sad, guys, with things that have happened. It's been crazy, guys. Yeah, so I already mentioned it that this government is not a democracy. This government is not a leadership. It's like we have a system in place. They are there to just frustrate and just damn the consequences. But it was just sad, just seeing the confirmation of that. I also want to say that from the way these events have played out, I've come to realize that this protest is not the end of it all. Rather, it is even the beginning. So this is just the beginning. There's so much work that we have to do, and not just the youths, the well-meaning people of Nigeria. We need to be very, very careful, and we need to apply wisdom in this fight. This fight is not just a fight that would end in a protest or in a day or in a couple of weeks or even in the next election. We need to be very strategic, because if we keep doing the same thing, we would get the same result. So we need to understand the kind of society that we are in, the kind of government we have, and we need to strategize. A lot of people coming out and say, oh, I want to run for this, run for that. It's not just about the presidency alone. It's not just about the executive. We need to start from the grassroots up. Anybody that is interested in making this country better must do their own quota with wisdom and with knowledge. So sometimes it's obvious that a lot of we youths are just very angry, but we don't understand the kind of system, the kind of cabals we are fighting. And before you can fight a system, you need to understand the system. Nigeria, we need to study other societies. We need to study societies that have been able to get, successful reforms in their country and how they're able to do it. A lot of us do not bother to invest in ourselves in learning about governance. So even if we now go into power, what's the guarantee that might not even be worse than the people that we are trying to, the people that we are trying to, reform, or the people that are there right now? You get what I'm saying? So I think it's very important for us to understand that protest was, it ended in a very unfortunate means. Obviously, the government succeeded in frustrating the efforts, and up until now, we don't have any clear, how will I put it? We don't have any. The government has not provided any clear results from what we've been protesting about. They have not brought any of those officers to book. They're not showing signs of reform. People are still complaining, even while the protest was going on, of SARS that was supposed to have been banned, harassing and molesting people on the road. All they've done is change the name to SWAT and showing us videos of their training. Nothing has been done. There is no structural reform. All the number of police officers that have been reported, I mean, a lot of these officers are not obviously not reported, but there's still people that they had names, they had information about them, and nothing has been done to bring them to the book. All they've done is to open a judicial panel that obviously we don't have so much confidence in. So we need to really understand what we need to do. We need to read books. We need to study other jurisdictions, like I've said. We need to know our government and know so that we can apply ourselves well. And we need the help of God to do all of this. But we need to take action, but informed and wise actions. How many of us have studied societies? How many of us have read books on leaders, on governance? This thing is a journey, guys, and I pray that this journey, God's wisdom be upon any one of us that are interested in, taking this mantle. That's my prayer. So yeah, guys, that's just a quick update I have for you guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in my next video. May God bless Nigeria. Amen.